Well, who is Frank James, the suspect who's now in custody?
Well, News 12 senior investigative reporter Walt Kane, he's been digging into James's past. He joins us right now. Walt, what do we know?
Well, Frank James wasn't shy when it came to making threats. For about 3 years, he posted rants on YouTube and Facebook, and yet it seems he managed to fly under the radar.
I keep telling you the same thing. White people and black people, as we call ourselves, should not have any contact with each other.
In hundreds of hours of video posted to YouTube and Facebook, Frank James ranted about race relations, the mental health system, and New York City Mayor Eric Adams, saying he's been so angry at times he'd been tempted to kill people.
Where I could say, I wanted to kill people. I wanted to watch people die right in front of my face immediately. But I thought about the fact that, hey man, I don't want to go to no prison. That.
James is 62, born in the Bronx, but he moved frequently, rarely staying in one place for very long. Most recently, he lived in Philadelphia. That's where he rented this van, recovered on Kings Highway in Brooklyn. Before that, James was in Milwaukee. Team 12 obtained a receipt showing a man with that name purchased smoke grenades matching those used at the shooting. The store owner says he can't say for certain it was the same Frank James, but he says the fireworks are identical. James also used to work at this behavioral health center in New Jersey. In videos, he rages about the staff there, even posting photos of some of them.
These are the people that were supposed to be helping me. They made me worse. They made me worse. They made me more dangerous than I could ever, than anything anybody could ever imagine.
While those comments make it sound as if James was a patient, officials at Bridgeway House say he was an employee. They say they've had no contact with him in over a decade.
I was a nice person. I wanted to help people and do. When I left out there, I wanted to kill everything in sight.
The hundreds of hours of disturbing videos raise questions. How could someone post threatening content for years and still fly under the radar?
Whether it's racist comments, hateful and hurtful things that they say, slip through the cracks, and those cracks are as wide as the Grand Canyon.
Rich Rivera is a law enforcement analyst.
How does that stuff slip through the cracks? Is it just because there's so much video out there?
It absolutely is that, Walt. There's just so much content, so many people streaming simultaneously, and this isn't something that law enforcement is expected to keep up on. These are the big social media companies that are supposed to police themselves.
Now, Frank James bought his gun legally, the one used in the shooting legally in Ohio in 2011. Now, some people have wondered how that could be. After all, James had a fairly lengthy rap sheet both in New York and New Jersey. The answer on that is apparently relatively simple. Under federal law, you can't purchase a gun if you have a felony conviction. James's prior arrests either were for misdemeanors or he was found not guilty.